everyone. I don't know how I forgot to film an intro for this video. I was kind of just a little scatterbrained. So I am going to be filming the intro now, and today I'm going to be showing you guys everything about the new Bold Hue foundation mixing system. If you guys saw my previous video back in, I think it was around like November, December, there has been a little bit of a roller coaster going on with the Bold Hue company, but I'm very glad to say it is finally here. I am so excited to share this with you guys. We are going to set this up and go through the whole process together. I'm going to show you the first foundations that I mixed and my thoughts and opinions and the results and everything. So I'm going to try to keep this very, very brief so we can just get into the important stuff. But really quickly, if you guys don't mind, if you could give this video a thumbs up, it would greatly help me. I am a very small channel trying to grow, and a simple thumbs up helps my videos so much. So if you guys are excited about this as well, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. So I will insert clips of how I set up this system. It actually was very easy and pretty straightforward as far as setting the system up, but let me quickly show you guys all of the components that come in the set. So first off, this is the actual machine here, and I would say, you know, it's a pretty reasonably sized product in my opinion, and this is the actual machine, and it also comes with the connecting cable. It comes with a type C to USB type of cable, and then it also comes with the starter kit here, which has all of the foundation products in here. Now it's not quite as pretty because I've already kind of messed it up a little bit, but this is basically what it looks like in here. So the first thing that you get is a Beauty Blender brand beauty sponge, and I'm actually kind of excited because I've never actually had a true beauty blender before, so I was actually pretty stoked when I saw that this came with it. Then in this box here, it comes with 2 of the empty foundation jars. And then in the top here, it comes with the 6 cartridges for the foundation machine. There is the base product here, a white, a black, a red, a yellow, and a blue cartridge. It also has a super easy to follow QR code here to get you started with installing the app and pairing it to the machine. So overall, I found that the setup process for this was relatively easy if you are comfortable with turning on Bluetooth and pairing it to a device. All you have to do is also install the Bold Hue app, and if you use that QR code in the box, it will very easily take you to your Apple Store or Google Play Store to download and install the app. From there, all you have to do is to create an account, and then it will guide you along on how to actually pair your Bold Hue device to your phone so that you can wirelessly connect to that and do the scanning process and all of that. So I have to say that it was a super easy process to do. Even when it comes to installing the cartridges, it's all pretty straightforward, and I didn't have any issue with that. It was relatively easy. Like I said, if you're comfortable with doing Bluetooth, pairing to an item, and honestly just installing a few little screw caps, you pretty much got it. And I think that the instructions were very clear, very easy to follow, and I really appreciated that. So with that all being said, let's get into doing our very first scan and seeing what kind of foundation color it mixes up for me. Okay, so I have nothing on my skin right now. I only have a little bit of a moisturizer that's been sitting on my skin for about 30 minutes or so. So this is what we're dealing with right now. I've got a little bit of a breakout here, and here is a little bit more of an up close view of my skin. So you can see I've kind of got like some little redness here, a little bit on my cheeks. I've got like a little breakout here, a little breakout on my chin. So here is what my skin looks like, but this is just my typical skin tone, my color, everything like that. So let's go ahead and see how this first color mix goes. I am so excited. Also, this is a little difficult to do. I've kind of got like this multi-camera setup type of thing going on, so hopefully this will all work out. Okay, so we're gonna start a new scan. Ooh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna try to like have this on screen so you guys can see what I'm seeing at the same time. Okay, it says remove the wand and wait for the glass end to light up. If it doesn't, hold the glass end near a bright light. Okay, so right over here. Okay, so that is this right here. So we need to take this out, and this is what this looks like. I want to wait till that lights up. Okay, it's lit up. Now let's try it. Okay, so we're starting a new scan. Forehead, chin, neck. Interesting. I'm surprised it doesn't want you to do cheek. forehead, chin, neck, and then it said to avoid places like with like facial hair, scarring, hyperpigmentation, acne, things like that. So I'm gonna try to avoid that little guy there. So, okay, scan these 3 places. So I need to scan my forehead. I gotta wait for the little light to light up. Okay, it's lit up. Forehead. Okay. Chin. And neck. Okay. Now I'm supposed to return this to the cradle. Wand returned. Okay, this is exciting. Let's see what this is gonna do. So it's analyzing my custom shade. I'm really curious what this is gonna be like. Okay, we're still loading, Okay, okay. So, I don't know why I just held that up. I'm doing a screen recording. You guys can see this too. Okay, so this is interesting. From the color indicator on screen, it's a very grayish, pink toned kind of foundation, but I've always said grayer tone foundations match my skin tone better. So it says ready to make this shade, grab your foundation jar and click below. So I've got my foundation jar right here. Let's go ahead and unscrew this and see what it wants me to do. And I'm gonna click make, oh my gosh, I wish you guys could have saw that. Okay, it automatically popped open the little container here for the jars. So I'm gonna go ahead, put my little jar in there, and I guess we close that. Yeah, remove the lid, place it in there, flat side, then close the drawer. Okay, make foundation. Okay, let's see. I don't know what it's gonna do. Definitely hear stuff going on. Oh, the anticipation is killing me. All right, any minute now. Okay, it's been about 1 minute. Okay, what's it gonna do? Oh my god, I'm so stoked. It's just kind of like making this sound. I think maybe because, shoot. I wonder if like me trying to film this on my phone messed it up. Crap. I need a minute to kind of figure this out. I think maybe like interrupting the app from filming might have messed this up. So, oopsie. Let's see if I can figure this out. Okay, I think crisis averted. Basically how I fixed it. I think the problem was like when I was trying to film the video on my phone with the app still going, I think it timed out and confused it or something. So that was user error on my bad and really honestly just like content creator error. So I'm not knocking that at all. What I ended up doing was redoing the scan so it would pop open the foundation jar. So I got that out and just went with the original scan. So this is what the mixture looks like. I have to say this is gonna be super interesting to see once I mix it up with a spatula what the color looks like. Let me do another little up close here with my phone camera so you can really see that color mixture here. So the interesting thing is I don't see any blue in here. I wonder if that was an error or if that is the mixture. So we might have to do another round just to see. But let's go ahead and try this out. So here is the foundation here. I'm just gonna kind of mix this up with my little spatula here. Yes, you do have to mix it up yourself, but honestly, that's not the biggest thing in the world. I want to make sure I get this like super mixed well. I kind of wish the machine mixed it for you, but it's okay. Okay, so far this is looking really interesting. Okay, so now that I have mixed up the foundation, this is the overall color. So far it's looking very promising. Okay, so I'm really intrigued to see what this is gonna look like. So I'm gonna go ahead, make sure, oh, there's just a tiny itty bit that wasn't mixed on here. Let me mix that a little bit better. Okay, I think we've got it. So I'm gonna take a little bit from the spatula here and we're gonna do a swatch test. Moment of truth. Okay, here is the swatch of the foundation. So far, I feel like it's looking pretty reasonable as far as what I would expect a foundation for my skin tone to look like. So I'm gonna zoom in so you can really see everything. Okay, so here we go. That is the first color that it mixed for me. Okay, spreading it out a little bit. Seems like it could be pretty decent. Now the only thing I'm wondering is, did my mishap with the product interrupt anything? So in the name of science, we're gonna do it again really quickly. Also because it's really fun. So first off, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just wipe off this swatch for now. And we're gonna do 2 fresh swatches side by side after I mix up the second batch, just to make sure everything is exactly what it should be. So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so I just mixed up the second one, and I'm actually kind of really glad that I did, because that was something very interesting that I thought I would bring up. So on the second go around, I wanted to make sure like nothing went wrong in the first time. So I completely didn't film any of it on my phone or anything, and just had the app open and went through the whole process again. I did a rescan. I did scan in close to the same areas. However, the only thing I did different on this time was I scanned on this side of my neck rather than this side of my neck. So that was really the only difference scan-wise that I did. But my machine actually did run into a little bit of a hiccup when I was mixing up the second one. So it actually was mixing it all up, and it popped it out, and it said there is an error with the yellow cartridge. And whenever I pulled it out, I could see there was no yellow mixture in the pot. It said take it out, shake it up again, and install it. So I did that. And then I was kind of wondering, I'm like, oh, well, does that mean like it's not going to put the yellow in there now? So I just kind of trusted the process. So after I took the yellow cartridge out, I shook it and reinstalled it. It actually lets you go back to put that same pot back in there, and then it added in the yellow mixture, and then I am left with this color here. So I did think that was really cool how it detected a problem, let you fix the problem, and then would go back and add the color that it had the problem with. Now the only thing is, looking at these two colors now, this is the first color that I mixed, and this is the second color I mixed. I don't know if it will be apparent on camera or not, but in person I can tell that the second one I mixed is ever so slightly more yellow than the first one. And that could be because it ran into that issue and accidentally, like, I don't know, over dispensed a little bit more than it needed to, but this one does look slightly more yellow than this one. And the funniest part is, before it actually put the yellow back in there the second time, I kind of did a quick little mix to see what the color looked like with just like the red and like the white and the base and all that. I think it was actually a closer color for me before the yellow was added. I thought that was interesting, and I definitely wanted to point that out because I did think that was really neat how it detected a problem and then gave you the chance to fix it, so it didn't just like waste an entire pot of foundation or anything like that. So now I want to do a side-by-side comparison of the two colors that I mixed. And we'll take a look, and hopefully you can kind of see the very slight difference between them. All right, so starting off, this is the first color that we matched. This is the original one here. So just gonna do like a little fresh kind of mixture of that. Let me clean off this little spatula here, get that completely clean. And I'm just going to take just a little dip into there and kind of just do like a little swatch here of that color there. So that is the original color that we mixed. Let me wipe this one off. And then this is the second one that I mixed. So if I hold that one up to the original, number one, number two, I think that this one is slightly more yellow than this one. And once again, that could probably be because of the issue it had with the yellow. So I will give it a little bit of grace here. But here is the second one. Trying to like kind of spread that out evenly. Okay, so number one, number two. I think so far number one was actually the better mixture, which doesn't surprise me because with the error with number two, I wouldn't expect it to get it perfect after everything didn't go right the first time. But now the moment of truth is actually blending this out and seeing it what it looks like on my skin tone. So just for the sake of everything, I'm just gonna wipe off that second color just because I feel like that one didn't match me as well. I definitely could use that one and will use that one, but for today I don't want to have too many different variables that are competing against each other, so I want to apply a little bit more of this, and I'm just going to kind of spread it around. And I'm going to do one side with the Beauty Blender and one side with my makeup brush. I've been kind of going back and forth between Beauty Blenders and makeup brushes lately, so I just kind of want to do both of them and see how it works. All right, so got my Beauty Blender here. Let's just go ahead and blend out this foundation. So first things first, when it's actually blended out color-wise, it's looking pretty good, you guys. Pretty good. Now really the test for this, for me, it's gonna be if I like the foundation coverage, if I like the texture, if I like the finish, That is going to be the key for me. Now, of course, your application method of whether you use a brush or a sponge will vary your results slightly. I find that typically beauty sponges like this tend to shear out foundations. They tend to kind of soak up a little bit of the foundation, and especially with this one being a brand new one, that is also a factor will come into play. So it's possible that this one on this first application is just going to soak up a little bit more of the foundation rather than like if I had a seasoned beauty sponge. With the beauty blender side, it definitely is like a light finish coverage to me. It definitely evened out the skin, but I can still see a little bit of the texture peeking through and some little redness and things like that. And of course, like I said, could be the new beauty sponge, could be the foundation itself. And this is just one layer. I would say that with this application, this gives me a really natural finish. It still looks like my skin. It just looks a little bit more evened out. And we're not seeing a huge color difference. This is the bare side. This is the sponge side. Color-wise, I'm impressed, you guys. I am impressed. I'm gonna test it with the brush on this side. And as far as the amount of the foundation that it created in this initial scan, I'm not positive yet. This is what I think how it works is that you can initially create like a little sample kind of size, you know, enough that you could probably use for like a day or 2 or 3, depending on how much foundation you wear, to really like test out the foundation. And then I think you're supposed to have the ability to mix more, like once you kind of really land on your shade that you like and you think is a good match, you can save the colors into like I guess a library, and you can name them, which seems pretty cool. So honestly, I might even try to do some of this for my mom. I think it'd be fun. We have very different skin tones, so it'd be very cool to see what it does for her. But I think you might have the ability to mix more foundation later once you land on a color that you are comfortable with. I think that the brush side does tend to, just by nature of the product, tend to not obviously soak up as much as the product. So I feel like there's more foundation coverage on this side just from the brush. But I mean, wow, like even when I'm blending this down onto my neck, there is no like noticeable color difference. A typical foundation that I would get at the store, I always have to take really special care around blending my neck. But honestly, I feel like there's not a noticeable difference, really. On this side, I think you can still see my freckles kind of coming through. I definitely have more freckles on this side because I part my hair on this side. I get more sun on this side, so it's not quite an even frecklage across my forehead, but you can still see a little bit of that coming through. As far as the color tone goes, I'm actually very impressed with how much this looks like my skin. It does not look overly yellow. Let me kind of zoom you out just a little bit as well. Okay, so here is the foundation applied, both sides, and you can kind of see a little bit more of my body to kind of like look at the overall coloring of it. Now I feel like right now, I feel like I look very pale, hence I am very pale, but of course without having like all of my makeup on, I feel like it just like makes me look a little extra pale. But I mean, color wise, this is the color that I am. I feel like I typically go for a little bit of like a darker kind of color, not because I mean to, but just because it's hard for me to find a foundation that matches me. But I mean, color wise, I mean, I feel like this looks like me. Now, as far as like how this foundation looks on my skin, at a distance, I think it looks pretty good. Now, I will say that right now I am kind of going through a little bit more of like a dry spell with my skin, and I do have dry skin to begin with, so I am a little on the crusty dusty side, and I did exfoliate today and I moisturized today, but I do still see just a little bit more of like my dryness kind of peeking through and looking a little, I won't say obvious, but I can see it and I notice it. As far as the coverage of this foundation, I would definitely consider this like a light to medium buildable type of foundation. Now I can definitely see like some areas where my, you know, little breakouts are still a little bit more obvious, but of course I would apply concealer to things like that. But overall, I mean, did it lighten it? Did it like make my skin look more even and balanced? I definitely think it did. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, like the scent. Does it have any kind of scent to it? I definitely think it does have a slight scent, but not like an added fragrance scent to it. Like there's no fragrancing added to this. It's just kind of like the raw material kind of smell. Doesn't smell bad at all. Doesn't have any particularly strong smell. I would just say it has very, very, very soft kind of makeup-y smell. Nothing offensive though, nothing added fragrance. So if that is something you are concerned about, there is nothing that I can tell from wearing it or on the ingredients or anything that I can see that has any mention of fragrancing added. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go ahead, finish off my makeup, come back with my final thoughts, and let you guys know just everything, what I think about it, all my thoughts and opinions. Would I recommend this or not? Let's come back at the end. Alright guys, so this is how it looks with all of my makeup on. I didn't do my lips yet, but this is how the overall face makeup looks, the eye makeup and everything like that. It does have a little bit of like a soft luminance kind of finish to the foundation, not matte, not like super dewy or anything. Okay guys, I am back. I got interrupted when I was trying to film my final thoughts, so I had to kind of put that off for a day, and I am back the next day, and I want to let you guys know what I think about this so far. And I do plan on doing more videos and like updates and content with this device, so don't think this is like the one and done video. I do still want to try this out on my mom and see what kind of color it mixes for her, so I definitely want to definitely film that as well, but I won't be able to do that for a couple of days, and I'm just so excited to get this video out. So I will do like an update video kind of giving more thoughts as I use this more. So this is all based on just like my first opinion of using this product, but overall, so far, I'm actually pretty impressed with this machine for what it is. Number one, I'm excited and like glad that it actually got to me and it wasn't like a scam or anything. If you guys remember, this thing was supposed to go on sale for pre-sale last July, and then it was supposed to launch around October time, and then that came and went, and it got extended till March, till now. But I am just so glad to find that it actually did get to me. I did get a partial refund, so the all-in amount that I paid for this machine was about like $99, I think, but that was because I was one of like the first batch of people to back this product, pre-purchase this product, so it was kind of like a thank you type of price incentive for that. Now, if you were to go and purchase this online right now, it's live for everyone to buy. The entire set for the starter kit is $295, which is the original amount that I was charged for the pre-sale, but like I mentioned, they did refunds for the delay or deadline extension for them, so I ended up paying about $100 for this, which honestly, I think for that price is a steal. Now, $295 is definitely a very steep price tag and not something that is attainable for everyone, obviously. But who I think that this could be a really great machine for, number one, professional makeup artist. I can absolutely see something like this, such a game-changing product to have for a makeup artist when you are working with so many different skin tones and clients, and to be able to mix up a perfect custom foundation for each individual client you come across is kind of an amazing product. So number one, absolutely for working makeup professionals, this is probably a game-changing type of product in my opinion. But taking more of like an approach for like an individual consumer, I definitely think that it's not for everyone, but I do think that if you struggle to find foundation shades that match you, if you just have like a really unique undertone or something like that, and you just really struggle to find a foundation that matches you and you've kind of got some money to burn, I think that this is still a really cool product even for like an individual. And like I said, I mean, I can use this like for me, I could use this for my mom or like my friends if they wanted to try it out. You know, we could kind of, you know, I don't know, go in on an item like this. It's definitely a really unique item, and I think it's pretty cool. And I forgot to mention, I am not wearing any foundation right now, so don't judge my skin right now for what the product was, for any type of result from this product. I just had to get on here and finish up my thoughts so that I could get all my thoughts out here for you guys. So I'm not wearing anything at the moment. So knowing what I know now, I think that this is such a really cool machine. I am still so excited and like ready to see what this thing can do. And I'm really curious to see down the line if we can get like an expansion in the foundation base formula. Like maybe a dewy kind of foundation is not your thing and you just want like a totally matte type of foundation. I totally see how they could develop different types of formulas that you can just pop in and out of the machine based on the actual foundation base product. And I think that that's awesome. That's definitely something that could totally be something down the line that they can do. And so if you wanted like a sheer foundation, or if you wanted like a medium foundation, or like a full coverage foundation, or a dewy, or a matte, whatever it may be, I really see that the possibilities are kind of endless with this type of product. But I do want to also make a mention that there is a tech YouTuber that I watch. He is very, very popular, and Marques Brownlee, he always says, never buy a product based on promises of what it can be later. You should always take into consider what the product is for right now. And I definitely think that, like I said, for an individual consumer, it's a pretty steep price tag for that $295. That's before taxes. You also have to take into consideration the refill charges on something like this, buying the individual cartridges. Now, I do like that you can pick and choose what colors you need, so you don't have to buy like the full set if you are only out of like the yellow cartridge, or if you're out of the blue cartridge. You can pick and choose what colors you need when you need them. Now, for the price of the cartridges here, I am looking on their website right now. The base cartridge is running at $15 for that, and then the individual color cartridges are all running at $20 a piece. So I definitely think that, taking into consideration if you had to buy all of these outright, that is a good amount of money. You're looking at about $115 in the cartridges if you had to buy them all outright: the base, the black, the white, the red, the blue, and the yellow cartridges. So that is a little bit of a steep price, but also taking into consideration that you are not going to be using up all of these colors at the same time. Now, maybe the red cartridge you will have to buy more frequently depending on your skin tone and all of that, and all your mixtures and everything. But something like the black, I probably am not going to need that one very often at all. So it's also something to keep in mind, is how often which colors you are going to be repurchasing. But I have to say, at the end of the day, although $20 for one of those little cartridges is a little bit steep, thinking about like, well, gosh, $20, I could buy an entire foundation for $20. I get that. But I will be very curious to see how long these actual cartridges last. So that is something that I do not know at the moment. This is going to be kind of like a long con kind of situation for me to figure out, okay, how long do these cartridges actually last for me? How often do I have to repurchase them? That would definitely be something to consider, because not only are you purchasing the machine and the starter kit and everything, but there is going to be a reoccurring cost with the cartridge upkeep. So just something to keep in mind with this system. The other thing I'm kind of curious to think about would be like, can this machine be versatile of not only just mixing up things like foundation, but can this be used to mix up things like blush in the future? And that's something that is really kind of interesting to me, is how far can we take this machine? Can we mix up other makeup items from the same device? That's definitely something that I could see in the future, maybe like through firmware or software updates could be potentially something, or maybe even like swapping out certain cartridges in here depending on what you want to make. I think that this is really cool, and I think that this is only just like the tip of the iceberg as far as like this new wave of like tech meets beauty. And I really think this is a really fun, interesting kind of concept, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it so far, and I just can't wait to see with more use how this is going to, I don't know, just advance down the line. Alright guys, so far those are all of my thoughts at the moment. Now, like I said, I do plan on trying to do some update videos as I use this more, letting you guys know just any tips or tricks or anything like problems that I run into. So it's definitely just going to be a learning process for me, and the more I use this, the more I will get experience for that. So if you guys have any questions that I may have left out or not considered, or any thoughts or anything like that, definitely leave them in the comments below, and I will try to do my best to get back to you guys on anything that I can answer, or any thoughts that you guys have. I'm just so kind of like really stoked on this type of product, and I know that a lot of you guys are probably curious about it as well. So definitely let me know if there's anything that I missed in the comments and you want to know answers to. I will do my very best. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on social media. Links are below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.